Need some coins for rookie premieres? Head on over to rockbottomcoins.com for the safest and cheapest coins anywhere. Use code Zirksee at checkout for a 10% discount on your order.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What is going on, guys? It is Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be going over every single power-up card in Madden 19. So I'm going to go through every single team and show you exactly which team has which power-ups, and I do want to give a big shout out to everybody that has been liking the videos, commenting, and also subscribing. It means a ton. I've been growing at a very, very rapid pace, and I gotta say thank you guys so much for all the support. If you guys are not already subscribed, please do hit that sub button and turn the notification bell on so you guys get notified whenever I do upload some more Madden 19 Ultimate Team videos. And I gotta say, day one of Madden 19, guys, I do plan on doing at least one of the ginormous bundles. I believe it's a 40 premium pack, and then I also have, I think, two more of those bundles that I'm going to be doing as well over the course of the next couple of days. So make sure you guys turn the notifications on. I'm going to be opening up a ton of packs at the beginning of Madden 19. With that being said, though, let's get into the power-ups. And for the Cardinals, we have Larry Fitzgerald, we also have David Johnson, and Patrick Peterson. On to the Falcons. There's actually quite a few Falcons. We have Devonta Freeman, Deion Jones, Julio Jones, Alex Mack, Matt Ryan, and also Desmond Trufant. If you guys want to see me make a video on the best power-ups to do, I might end up doing that video. But honestly, for the Falcons, obviously Julio Jones and Deion Jones, in my opinion, probably the best two for them. Next up, we have the Ravens, and there's actually only three Ravens: Yanda, Suggs, and Jimmy Smith. So, I mean, out of these three, probably Jimmy Smith, the best one. Next up is the Bills, and there's actually only two. And the surprising thing is that there's only one actual player on the Bills. The other one is a legend, which is Bruce Smith. So the only active player on the Bills to get a power-up is Micah Hyde. So that's kind of weird. You think they would have put in like Tre'Davious White or somebody. Next up is the Panthers, and I gotta say the Panthers actually have a nice little list. We have Darrell Williams, Kawan Short, Greg Olsen, Cam Newton, and Luke Kuechly. Of course, Kuechly and Cam Newton going to be very, very popular power-ups. Next up is the Bears, and once again, they only have three people: Adrian Amos, Jordan Howard, and Danny Trevathan. Personally, I would say maybe stay away from Trevathan just because of the fact that, of course, Raquan Smith is going to be there at middle linebacker as well. So Raquan Smith might just happen to steal a lot of Danny Trevathan's stats, and people are really, really hyped up on Raquan Smith, as well as the fact he has a rookie premier card. He's probably more likely to get more upgrades. And Adrian Amos, in my opinion, a very underrated safety. He's a stud. Next up is the Bengals, and once again, only two people, Geno Atkins and AJ Green. So kind of interesting that some of these teams have like 9 and some of them have 2. Next up is the Browns, and there's only 3 of them: Joel Bitonio, Jarvis Landry, and Kevin Zeitler. Now, there was a little bit of news that I think was released saying that they might actually add more power-ups into the game at a later point, but we will be getting a blog pretty soon on Mutt News, so we'll have to see about that one. Next up is my favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys. We have Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, Sean Lee, and Ezekiel Elliott. Kind of upsetting DeMarcus Lawrence isn't on this list. Obviously one of the better pass rushers in the NFL, but Sean Lee, the 3 best offensive linemen that we have, and Zeke, definitely very nice. Next up is the Broncos, and I gotta say, these 4 players, definitely very nice. Champ Bailey, of course, a legend. Then we have Chris Harris Jr., Von Miller, and Demaryius Thomas. Personally, the best one of these, obviously Von Miller. He is going to probably get a bunch of cards this year. He always does because he's such a beast. Next up is the Detroit Lions. We have Darius Slay Jr., Matthew Stafford, and Golden Tate. Of course, my favorite 2 picks from these would be Slay and Matt Stafford. Slay usually gets like a team of the week or just a lot of upgrades. Not like a ton, but he does get a decent amount of upgrades, so doing a power for him would definitely be pretty nice. Next up is the Packers, and we have Devontae Adams, David Bakhtiari, Kenny Clark, Jimmy Graham, and Aaron Rodgers. The most surprising one out of this list is probably Kenny Clark. Honestly, a very underrated player. Not a lot of people talk about Kenny Clark, but I believe he has like an 82 overall or something like that to start off the year. And of course, Aaron Rodgers power up. I'm sure a ton of people would do that set. In my opinion, a very, very exciting team for power-ups is the Texans. We have Jadeveon Clowney, DeAndre Hopkins, Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, and J.J. Watt. I wish that Deshaun Watson was on this list as well, but honestly, having these 4 is definitely super nice. And if you guys know me, if you guys have watched my channel for a while, you know Tyrann Mathieu is probably my favorite player in the NFL, That's not on the Cowboys. Next up is the Colts, and there's only 3 players here. We have Jabal Sheard, T.Y. Hilton, and Andrew Luck. Of course, T.Y. Hilton can always go off every single game. He definitely has a chance of getting above 100 yards and a couple touchdowns. If Andrew Luck is healthy as well, he could definitely be seeing a nice amount of upgrades this year. Next up is the Jaguars, and there's definitely a nice amount of power-ups here, and I'm super excited to actually have both star cornerbacks in this team. A.J. Boye, Calais Campbell, Leonard Fournette, Miles Jack, Andrew Norwell, Telvin Smith, and Jalen Ramsey. That is one stacked defense, as well as having Leonard Fournette would definitely be a nice addition to my team. Next up is the Chiefs, and we have Eric Berry, which I love Berry's cards. Tyreek Hill, of course, one of the fastest wide receivers in MUT. If you guys are going to buy the points MUT level one, which I actually have a video of showing you guys all of the MUT level rewards. If you guys haven't seen that, check it out. But Tyreek Hill is one of the MUT level rewards, so if you buy that pack with points, I believe it will be, and then power him up, he'll be even higher speed. And then, of course, you have Justin Houston, Kareem Hunt, and Travis Kelce. Next up is the Chargers, and we have Lorenzo Neal, Keenan Allen, Joey Bosa, Melvin Gordon, Casey Hayward, Hunter Henry, and also Melvin Ingram. Now, Hunter Henry is injured, so he might get a couple of promo cards, but of course he's not going to be able to get, Team of the Weeks, Football Outsider, stuff like that. So if you go with Hunter Henry as a power-up, don't expect him to get a ton of upgrades this year. In my personal opinion, the best one for the Chargers is probably Bosa and Casey Hayward. Next up is the Rams, and of course they have a ton of star power in Aaron Donald, Todd Gurley, LaMarcus Joyner, Marcus Peters, and Ndamukong Suh. So obviously the Rams, any of these players can definitely go off. If anyone though, probably Donald, Gurley, and maybe Peters. Peters is usually pretty lucky. He might get like 2 picks in a game and get himself a Team of the Week hero. Once again, another team that only has 2 power-ups is the Dolphins. Rashad Jones and Josh Sitton. So once again, kind of sucks that there's some teams that only have like 2 players. Next up is the Vikings, and we actually have Randy Moss on this list, which might be a pretty good idea. So, he's probably going to get a couple different upgrades this year. Anthony Barr as well, Stephon Diggs, Everson Griffin, Linval, Xavier Rhodes, Harrison Smith, and Adam Thielen. EA really likes to give Harrison Smith cards, a lot of Team of the Weeks and stuff. Xavier Rhodes too, so those 2 might be the best of anyone here, but of course Anthony Barr, an absolute stud. You definitely don't want to miss out on the option of powering him up if you're going to user him. Next up is the Patriots, and of course we have David Andrews, Tom Brady, which you already know he's going to get a Team of the Week or 2, so definitely worth to do him. James Devlin, Julian Edelman, Stephon Gilmore, Rob Gronkowski, once again if he stays healthy, guaranteed to get some sort of an upgrade, and also Devin McCourty. The Saints as well have a ton of beasts in Willie Roaf, Drew Brees, who will go off for probably 400 passing yards when we get himself a Team of the Week hero or something. Demario Davis, Cameron Jordan, absolute stud. Kamara, definitely love him. And Marshawn Lattimore, EA really likes Lattimore, so we could definitely get a Team of the Week hero sometime or a Team of the Week set item. Ryan Ramczyk and also Michael Thomas, who once again, EA really likes to give him cards so we can maybe get like a MUT hero if they bring that back. The Giants have Landon Collins, Damon Harrison, actually I believe it's Damon Harrison, Janoris Jenkins, and OBJ, which of course, if you're going to do any of these guys, personally, I do OBJ. If Eli can get the ball to him, he can easily go off for over 100 yards a game on average, and maybe get like a 200 receiving yard game, get himself like a 93 overall Team of the Week hero, power that card up, you got a beast. Once again, the Jets are a team with only 2 power-up players, Trumaine Johnson, who just came from the Rams, and Jamal Adams, who in my opinion had a very underrated season as a strong safety. Next up, we have the Raiders, who once again have a legend in Ted Hendricks, Amari Cooper, Rodney Hudson, Khalil Mack, Rashawn Melvin, which is kind of an interesting one, and Kalichi Asameli. Now, I wish they kind of had Derek Carr in here, maybe instead of Rashawn Melvin, but of course, Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper, gonna be some nice ones to do if Amari Cooper can really bounce back and have another great year. The Eagles have a ton of different power-ups this year. Nigel Bradham, Fletcher Cox, Zach Ertz, Brandon Graham, Jordan Hicks, Malcolm Jenkins, Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey, Jason Peters, and of course Carson Wentz, which Carson Wentz cards usually play extremely good, so out of all these guys, I'd say Wentz. Next up is the Steelers, and we do have the Triple B combo with David DeCastro, Marcus Gilbert, Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. You guys already know the ability that Big Ben, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell have together. At least one of them Well, honestly, probably all three of them will get some sort of a Team of the Week card this year. If not a Team of the Week, then probably a Football Outsider card, because you already know Antonio Brown, the cover boy, is the best receiver in the NFL, in my opinion. Le'Veon Bell, a top 3 back, if not top 2, not 2. Just kidding. Zeke's number 1. But Le'Veon Bell, of course, Antonio Brown, and Big Ben definitely have the opportunity of all of them to get some really big upgrades or some Team of the Weeks. Those 3, of course, my top picks. Up next is the 49ers, and we have Kyle Juszczyk, Steve Young, and Richard Sherman. I'm actually really excited to see how Sherman plays in San Francisco. I don't know exactly how he will play, but if he's anything like he was in Seattle in the past couple of years, he could definitely get some nice upgrades. Next up is the Seahawks, who have Steve Hutchinson, Doug Baldwin, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas III, Bobby Wagner, and Russell Wilson. Now, of course, Cam Chancellor did retire, but I did see someone tweet at EA. I think it was, I don't remember who it was, but Jake actually said something about maybe Cam Chancellor possibly getting some more upgrades this year. So we could see some promo cards for Cam Chancellor still. Earl Thomas, of course, doesn't look like he's going to be a Seahawk, but of course he will still have a power-up card somewhere. Bobby Wagner and Russell Wilson, of course, going to be some pretty good cards. Up next is the Buccaneers, and we have Derek Brooks, Levante David, DeMar Dotson, Mike Evans, Brent Grimes, and Gerald McCoy. Of course, I love Mike Evans cards. A beastly tall receiver you can throw a jump ball to in the end zone, and he might just come down with it. Up next is the Tennessee Titans. We have Malcolm Butler, Kevin Byard, Jarrell Casey, Taylor Lewan, and Delanie Walker. Personally, I love Delanie Walker because he's usually pretty fast and, of course, has really good run blocking. And finally is the Redskins, who have Sean Taylor, Zach Brown, Ryan Kerrigan, Jordan Reed, Trent Williams, and Brandon Sheriff. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment, and let me know down below which teams you think have the best power-ups. I might make a video showing you guys which power-up I would do from each team, or just in general the best power-ups to possibly do. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys are not already subscribed, please do sub and turn the notification bell and make sure it's set to all uploads, because sometimes it won't be set to all uploads and you won't get all my videos. Thank you guys so much for the support, and as always, I will see you guys next time.